Hey everyone, this is Chiranjeev, and in today's session, we are going to cover up the most important topic of computer science, that is database management system. So, uh, I have created a PowerPoint presentation about it, and we'll study through it. So, basically, what a management system is. In this session, we will first of all we will go through the topic of introduction, then we will study about database management, its definition and the types, as well as its three schema architecture, characteristics, and applications. Okay, we will cover up advantages and disadvantages at the end of the session. So, what is DBMS? Before going through the basic definition and introduction about DBMS, we will first of all we will understand the basics and the concepts about this topic. So, as you know, this word comprises of two words. It is database, and second one is management. So, if we go through this simple diagram in which it is represented that there is a database system. Database system consists of two components. First one is database and second one is DBMS, right? So, what is a database? If I if I ask from you, what is a database? So, as its name suggests, it is that a database is a collection of related data item. What a database is? It is a collection of related data item. Means somewhere a lot of data is collected. But what's the special thing about that data? What is the special thing about that data? That it is relatable, right? So what do you mean by related data? What do you mean by relatable data? So, if I give you an example, that there is IRCTC, that's Indian Railways. It is an app which you have used, maybe. So, basically, IRCTC have its own database, and now in that data, uh, there is a lot of information. And which type of information it is? Basically, it is about the places you have visited. It is the information. It is the information regarding all the passengers who have traveled through Indian Railways. But have you ever thought about, will it have all the data of the all the data about all the Indian people, all the population of India? No, right? It will have data about the people who have traveled through Indian Railway and who have logged into account of IRCTC, right? So what I want to tell you is that so will they have all the data about people in India? No, right? So all I am trying to tell you here is that the database is collection of related data, right? It is not that we club any of the data among themselves, right? So if I bifurcate this term database, so basically it is of two types. First one is structured database and second one is unstructured database, right? So structured database क्या होता है and unstructured database क्या होता है? So structured database is simply basically the data I can store, right? The data I can store in a particular size, in a structure, or in a particular shape, right? And unstructured data is which cannot be, it doesn't have any particular structure. Basically, its name already suggests what it is. It is structured and it is unstructured. I can store it in any form, in any size, in any shape, but this cannot be stored in any size or any structure, right? So, for example, the IRCTs, all the data the IRCT has CTC have, it is all the type. It is the type of structured database. And if we talk about web pages, the information available on the web pages, that is unstructured, right? All the information that universities had, about their students, their roll number, their grades, their marks. All these information is type of structured data because we can store it somewhere na, in a form, in a structured way, right? Now, now, one of the thing is that for structured database, we always use RDBMS system, that is relatable database management system. For these, what do we use? We use relatable database management system. And this term, if we go through this bifurcated term of this database system, that is DBMS, it simply means a database management system. So basically, if we come to this term, like if we come to this term DBMS, then basically if we want to access some data, or we want to maintain it, or we want to manipulate it, or we want to manage it, or we want to update it, or we want to like perform any type of operation on it, right? If you want to add up some data, or I want to remove something from that data, right? So what will we do? Like, what will we do? We will perform some operations, right? So, will you use what will we use DBMS, like database management system? Database management system is what? It is a system which will which we are going to use to perform all these operations and to manage all the information which our database will store. So simply database management system is nothing but a tool to manage all the data available in database. So according to its definition, the database management system is a collection of interrelated data and the set of programs to access those data. So basically what I have said, the database management system is a collection of interrelated data, means the data which is interrelated to each other. It is combination of two words, a database and management, and they combinedly form what? A database management system, right? So if we go through these headings, like database management system is used for organizing the data in the form of table, schema, and report. But its primary goal is to provide a way to store and retrieve the database information that is both convenient and efficient, right? So database is a collection of related information stored so that it is available to many users for different purpose. And if simple language to describe database management system, then we will say it is a collection of programs that enables users to create and maintain some database. If we go to the next slide, it basically so we are going to study what are the types of database management system, right? What are the types of database management systems we use in database management system? First of all, it is centralized databases. Second, it is distributed databases. Third one is NoSQL database, cloud database, relational databases, network database, object-oriented databases, hierarchical database. Okay, so we will go through all these types of databases in very detail. So first of all, what are centralized databases, right? So it is a type of database that stores data at a centralized database system. As its name suggests, if this database is centralized in a way. So basically, it comforts the users to access the stored data from different locations through several applications. If I give you an example of centralized database, then I will say a central library of a college or an institute in which database of each library is present. Then we will say this data is nothing but a centralized database. Second one is distributed database. As its name suggests, it is distributed. So basically, it is a type of data that is distributed among different database systems in an organization. A very common examples I will give to you to explain these two databases is, if you are using a WhatsApp group in which there are multiple users added in it. There are multiple members in that group, and you have shared a picture or some pictures in that group. So basically, that those pictures are what? A database, a relatable data, right? A database. So these pictures will be communicated, or we will say it will be distributed between all the members of the WhatsApp group, right? So we will say ki this amount, this what type of data it was. It was a distributed database, right? And similarly, if you want to share something using your WhatsApp to one of your friend, right? And you know that that is a type of, how will you know, how can you say that that is a centralized data? Because it is stored at the different location. You know where the screenshot is. It will be in a screenshot folder. So its location is different. Where will be your camera clicked photos? It will be in camera folder, right? So these were two databases I have explained using a simple example. Third one is relational database. Relational database is generally in form of rows and columns. We call rows as tuples and columns as attributes in language of computer science and engineering. A relational database, basically it uses SQL queries for manipulating, for editing, for insertion of data, for if you want to remove some data from that database, and if I want to maintain that data, I want to update something in the data. For example, there is a student which have left the college and you want to update that information that he has left the college, and you want to remove his data from your college database management system. So what will you say? What will you use? We will use SQL queries and database management system. We will study much more about it in the later chapters. So fourth type of database is no SQL database. It is also known non-SQL or not only databases. It is a type of database that is used for storing a wide range of data sets. It basically stored a vast range of data sets. It stored data in tabular form, but it is different from relational database as it stores data not only in tabular form but in several different forms also. And fifth one is cloud database. Basically, cloud means something which doesn't require a hard disk or a hard memory, a primary memory. Yeah, you can say a secondary type of memory to store its information. It is a virtual environment. It is a hybrid virtual environment in which data gets stored. Like you have used Google Drive on your phone, you have stored there are a lot of pictures or documents, your important document you want to access from anywhere or everywhere. Like you used to upload it on Google Drive. So Google Drive is what? Google Drive is a kind of cloud virtual platform on which you can you can use those cloud computing services. There are some examples like SaaS, PaaS, LaaS. These are assessed across the globe for assessing all the database around the world. One of the common examples are Amazon Web Services, right? And some other examples are Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, right? If we go to some other types of databases, then there is object-oriented database, hierarchical database, and network database. Object-oriented database uses object-based data model output for storing the data. It is as simple as its name is. Hierarchical databases are basically, these are tree-like structures in which we use parent-children relationship node model. This figure you can see here, it is a figure in which this is a parent node. This is A and B are, these are known as children node. These, and for these two nodes, these are parent nodes, right? So basically, What I want to say is hierarchical database are tree-like structure, but network database, if I create a network database, it will consist of nodes, but I will not call them as parents and children, right? So it is a graph structure. Network database is generally present in graph-like structures, but in hierarchical database, we will see tree-like structure. This is the basic difference between network databases and hierarchical databases. If we go through this topic, this is a very important and very crucial topic of this chapter. It is the three schema architecture of database management system. So what is architecture? And what do you mean by this term three schema? So basically schema means views, or we can say levels. So levels, what do you mean level, and what is this architecture, and what are your levels? So this is really very confusing for the first time. But it will if I tell you about it, so it is a really very simple topic to understand. It is basically architecture means a design, right? Then the overall design of a database is what? A database schema. And there are three levels basically in this architecture. And these levels are also known as ANSI and SPARC. Its full form is American National Standards Unit and Standard Planning and Requirements Committee. Architecture of three-level architecture. So the three schema architecture is also used to separate the user's application and physical databases. These three schema architecture are also used to separate the user's application and physical databases too. So basically there are three levels: external, conceptual, and internal. If I go through this diagram, this is a diagram which shows uh, which concludes all the information about the three-tier architecture of database management system. So basically, this is the database. It can be IRCT's database, your college database, your school's database, in which all the information about your students, about your colleagues, all the information is there. It is a collection of that relatable data items. Like, right? We have studied it about it a lot on the in the start of the video. So first level is internal schema, second is conceptual schema, and third one is external schema. So if we go through in details, there are three levels of architecture. First one is internal level or internal view or internal schema, level view or schema. These are three words used here for the same thing. The internal level has an internal schema which describes the physical storage structure of databases. So basically, what is the physical structure of databases? It will be strings, it will be decimals, it will be binary numbers, it will be offsets, right? Basically, when an internal schema stores the information in form of physical structure of its databases. So we will say at that level when information is present in physical storage, then we will say at that level that database is on which level? On internal level. It uses the physical data model. It is used to define that how the data will be stored in a block. The physical level is used to describe the complex low-level data structures in detail. So basically, what so you can see here in an example, it is an internal view in which the information about an employees in a company, their salary, their name, their department number, and their post, all of this information is stored there, right? So this was the first level of the schema. And the second level is this one. The second level is conceptual schema. And what does it mean? The conceptual schema describes the design of the data. Basically, conceptual level is also known as logical level. And it is the basic, it is the most important level of the database management system. And conceptual schema describes the whole structure of the database, usually. That's why it is known as logical level. So if we see this global view, this logical view, this conceptual level, so we will get the information about the employee, his number in integer form, or his name in strings, salary in strings, department number is in integers, post in strings. So basically, even in this diagram, even in this scenario, the data is not that much simple. It is complex still because salary is in strings, department number is in integer, but post is in strings. Like it will consist of some letters. String means it is a combination of alphabets, some letters, some characters. So it was a conceptual level. This is how we found the information on global level, global view. And if I would go through the third level of database, that is external level, that is view level, then we will say at the external level the database contains several schemas that sometimes called the subschema. Subschema is used to describe the different view of the database system. If I if I have a number of a large number of table, a huge table in which I have took some information about a single employee. Uh, I have I have just taken a tuple from that table, in which this tuple will have something like this. It will have an employee's name number. It will have his name. It will have his salary. It will have his department number, and it will have its post. Means if I collect a sub schema from if I collect a sub schema from a large amount of data, a large amount of schema, that is, this schema will contain a large amount of schema. If I have asked from my database management system about a single employee in the company, and it will suggest a tuple like this, right? So I will say ki which type of information it is, on which level it is available. I will say it is external level or the view level. Each view schema describes the database part that the particular user group is interested and hides the remaining database from the user group. Basically, it basically describes the end user interaction with database system. For example, if you are a government aspirant and and one of your exams result is declared, when all India exam or central level exams result is declared. So you can say there is a list of candidates with their roll numbers and names written in those lists are given to us on some sites. Their main sites, their websites are available, and when we check that table, check that result, we just type our name on the search bar of the PDF, and we find the uh, exact replica of that name. And if our name is in that list, we will find the appropriate particular data in that large amount of data. Basically, external view or view level is simply like that. It is the end user interaction with database system. You can't see others information. You just do what? You just use end user interaction to manipulate, to manage, to interact, to assess that data, right? So without wasting our time, let's go to the next topic. It is characteristics and application of DBMS. So, what do you mean by database management system? We have already studied about it. It has less data redundancy, means the same type of data. Data redundancy is copying of the data, right? Replicas of the data, presence of replicas of the data. So basically, what does it mean? What does it mean that in DBMS system, if we use DBMS system, so we will have less data redundancy in it. It will have data backup and recovery It will have data integrity. It will have facility to multi-user support system. It will have ACID properties. It will use query language support, data security, data consistency, and these were some characteristics of database management system. We go through the application, the last topic of this session. Then database management system is used everywhere, almost everywhere around us, in banking systems for maintaining the customer information, accounts, loans, and banking transaction. We use database management system in universities for maintaining student records, courses, registration number, their grades, their marks, class teacher information, their presence, their attendance. All of this information is stored using database management system. In railway reservation for checking the availability of reservation in different trains, their tickets, the places you have traveled, the information, all the information about the passengers, in airlines, simply in telecommunication, as well as in finance and sales sector also. So all these information is is stored using which thing? Nothing but the database management system. So that was all for the session, and thank you so much. Uh, we will we will cover up the topic soon. Thank you. Thank you.